Hey guys, back with another video. Today we're going to do a deep dive on the story of the woman at the well. I'm really excited about this because as I was studying it, I was shocked at how deep the symbology goes, which tells you why John wanted to make sure it was in his gospel. First, we're going to read it and then we'll break it down. And I'm going to be using the KJV. And I also, if you want to research, I would tell you to research Origen and Clement of Alexandria because they have a lot of different aspects of what this story meant to them way back then. So let me read it to you and then we'll start breaking it down. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep, from whence thou hast that living water. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us this well, and drank thereof of himself, and his children, and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither here to draw. Jesus saith unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast is not thy husband. In that saidest thou truly. Oh, this old English. Ugh. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where man ought to worship. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. The woman saith unto him, I know the Messiah cometh, which is called Christ, and when he comes, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. That's just the gist of the story. And so that's what we're going to do. This is John 4, verses 7 to 26. And they do have verses before and after that, but this is just the story, okay? So first and foremost, we have a Samaritan woman. Because she's a Samaritan, she's not in the covenant. And she was an outsider and a woman. So she's got 2-3 strikes against her already. She's outside of the covenant. She's a Samaritan. She's unclean, and she's a woman. And women had no rights or voices back then. So he is speaking to her because he is the Savior to all the world, not just the Jews. And he wants to make it perfectly clear that he's here for everybody. Second of all, we have the well. She told you it was Jacob's well. It's not just any well, it's Jacob's well and Jacob's water. Water is teachings. Jacob had true teachings, so he used Jacob's well. In the scriptures, the wells were places of betrothal. If you guys know your scriptures, you'll know that a lot of betrothals happen there, huh? So we're going to say just 3 of them. Exodus 2, we have Moses and Zipporah. She went to the well to water her dad's animals, and Moses saw her. Genesis 24, Isaac's servant, who he sent to find him a suitable wife, met Rachel there. And in Genesis 29, Jacob met Rachel at the well. So this story isn't just a story of a woman finding out she was a sinner and Christ was the living water. This story is an invitation for a betrothal with Jesus Christ, who is the bridegroom. So that makes this teaching even that much better. Okay, so we'll start out with verse 7. Origin says it's a woman, but it's actually just a human soul. But this soul is capable of being taught. So once she has the true teachings, she'll be able to make a better decisions. She says, you Jews have the true teachings, not us. Let's read this. So verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away into the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest a drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. So, if you're looking at water as being teachings, she's saying, you guys don't believe we have the true teachings anyways, so why are you asking anything of me? If you have the true teachings, get your own drink. Okay? Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knowest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me the drink, thou wouldest asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Living water is a spiritual concept, and it's spiritual water that will quench eternal thirst. So it's water that, the water that never quits giving. I got to get my book over here because otherwise I'm going to screw this up. So eternal water is all this, the teachings that's going to save your soul, your spirit. Okay, physical water will save your body. But the spiritual water is much bigger. Okay, verse 11. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep, from whence then thou hast that living water. So she's almost mocking him with it. But the well is deep, and you have nothing to draw with. So she's seeing that he has no physical tools. She's spiritually not seeing what is going on here yet. She's still just, kind of being snotty towards him because he's a Jew. Okay. Jacob's well was over 100 feet deep. So when she said it was deep, it was very deep. Okay. The true teachings of Jesus Christ are very deep and hard to get to. They have said that this could also be symbolic of man's pain and how deep our pain goes inside of us, and how Christ will reach in deep and get that pain out for us. And I thought that was a pretty cool translation. So then she gets a little defensive here. She goes, Art thou greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? She's kind of calling him out. saying, you think you're better than us? This is Jacob's well. Jacob drank here, and Jacob's family drank here. So you think you're better than Jacob? So that shows you she was just a little bit grumpy. Maybe she just had a little attitude, right? And so then he answered her back and said, and Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh this water shall thirst again. Is that not just clear straight across? This water is for the physical body. You drink it, you're going to thirst again. He's trying to give her a comparison of the water that she won't thirst again with and the water that she will thirst again. She's trying very hard to reach it into her spiritual side and to open her eyes as to what is actually going on here. And she said, but whosoever drinketh of this water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. So he made a huge contrast in just 2 verses. You've got the physical needs being taken care of, or you can have your spiritual needs being taken care of. 2 very, very different things. And he says that the water is springing up. It's never ending. It's as far as you want to go, he'll go with you. So then she goes, then the woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. I am sick of coming to this well. Give me that water, because I don't want to be thirsty and I don't want to come to this well anymore. And Jesus saith unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither. Okay, that's going back to the traditions back then that, you know, the man had to okay this. Her speaking to him wasn't really a good thing if they would have been caught. It's just the way they were back then. So he's saying, go get your husband and then I'll show you all this stuff. So who is a husband? This is where it starts getting deep. This turns into a really cool story. So a husband is someone you depend on, true? And a husband is someone you're devoted to. I'm sure that if you think about it, you can think of a few other things that a husband is. You can even think of the husband being the wife. Things that the husband are looking for in the wife, okay? Either way, these people are people that you're devoted to and that you're depending on. So we're going to take that into the worldly realm of the things you are depending on and the things you are devoted to that have nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Tell me that's not a great jump. And just to come up with just a few things that came to my mind really quick. I put religions. People are devoted to their religions. They think their religions are going to save them. Their churches, their friends, their worldly philosophies. Well, look at what I've learned. This is the truth. And because of this truth, I no longer need Christ because I've got the truth, right? Any man of any form, any sort, a woman of any form or any sort, whether it's a brother, sister, spouse, child, pastor, any man, okay? Any man that you're depending on more than you're depending on Christ, okay? Then you have your religious tokens. The Catholics have their crucifixes. The Catholics have their rosary beads. A lot of Christians put crosses up around their house for protection. The Mormons have their garments and their temple ceremonies that they really think are going to save them. Just knowing your handshakes, you're a shoo-in into that heavenly realm of the celestial kingdom. Okay, so he tells her, the woman answered and said, I have no husband. And Jesus said, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands. This woman is going from thing to thing looking for something to fulfill her, something to fill that hole that everybody has. Everybody has that hole inside of them that they're looking to fill. And literally and truly, Christ is the only thing that will ever fill that for you. And you can go from husband to husband. You'll never find something that's totally going to fill you. And this is what he's trying to teach, is that these things of the world that you're depending on, that you're devoted to, they're not the things that you need for everlasting life. So after she says that, after he tells her that, let's look at Jeremiah 2:15. This is a really cool scripture that kind of backs this up, okay? I wrote it down. It says, is it 2:15? 2:13. I'm sorry. I wrote it down sloppy. Jeremiah 2:13. For my people have committed two evils, forsaken me, the fountain of living water, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water. These husbands, these worldly things, are broken cisterns that cannot hold water. And we have forsaken the fountain of living water for broken cisterns. I thought that was very applicable here. The woman said unto him, so I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. So she's kind of going into a little bit of a, victimhood, blame game. Hey, we want to worship, but you guys won't let us come worship. And he has an answer for her on that one. He says, for Jesus saith unto him, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. He wants us to worship him in spirit and truth. He doesn't care about these buildings that we have. He doesn't care about the crowds, the volume of people in these churches. He worries about you personally worshiping him in spirit and truth. It's a personal thing. It's an internal thing. And that's what he's hoping to get across, that it's not going to be about what churches you're going into. These expensive churches, these expensive temples, the expensive synagogues, these cathedrals. He does not care about that. He wants you to worship inside of you in spirit and truth, because when you get away from all the crowds and all the fanfare, what do you have? What are you offering him? What relationship do you really have with him? That's what he's asking you to take a look at. And then here's this is kind of a rough one. It says, God is a spirit, and they worship him. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. This is Jesus Christ himself speaking. Jesus Christ is speaking these words. God is spirit. So any of you religions who believe that God is more than a spirit, he's a man of flesh and blood, he's whatever you want to say, Jesus Christ himself tells you right here, God is a spirit. Take that. Do what you want with it. And then he says, then the woman saying to him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. And when he is come, he will teach us all things. And Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. The big reveal. The big reveal. I did not search this out yet, but I believe that's the first time he revealed himself as the Messiah to people. If you want to search that out, search it out. But that is an interesting thing, that he chose a Samaritan woman to reveal himself to. Another thing you want to understand is that when Jesus was teaching her, he was just talking to her. He was answering her questions. but he was just talking to her. He wasn't condemning her. And I think this is the perfect role model on how to teach people. I think if you speak truth, the Spirit will take it and do what he needs to do with it. Because nobody on YouTube knows how to reach every single person. Nobody on here knows what's going to touch your heart, but the Spirit does. So if they're speaking truth, the Spirit can use that, and the Spirit can find your heart, and he can tell you how it's applicable in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this teaching, because it really was a great eye-opener for me. I didn't realize that our worldly things were considered husbands, that we've been relying on things and depending on things that have nothing to do with Jesus Christ or his kingdom. So hopefully this teaching's been a good one. I hope we've given you just a few things to think about. So until next time, remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and it's time to believe him. See ya.